I feel like I shouldn't be. Hi guys! Welcome to my live. Okay, let me paste this little thing on here really quick. Paste, post. Okay, there we go. Hey, welcome. Good. I keep on wanting to say good morning, but it's like not technically morning anymore. It's like afternoon kind of. So this is weird that I'm still in my bathrobe with no makeup on and just like not done at noon. This is usually not me. But today we're going to do like a little get ready with me because we've done so many lives that have been really fun, but we haven't had a chance to like, you know, that I can just like sit down and talk with you guys. So that's what we're going to do today. Hey, Molly. Hey, okay. I would say hey to all you guys, but some of your names are a little like, I don't want to mess them up, so I'm just not going to say them. But good morning. So today I'm going to take you guys through a quick like makeup session because I know a lot of you guys are still doing conference calls for work. I know you're still doing some interviews and some job related stuff, and sometimes you might need to be on camera. So I'm on camera like most days, probably like 5 days out of a week or something. And some of those days I'm like on Instagram Lives. Other days I'm doing like interviews with Extra. So I'll take you guys through what my makeup routine is now because it's a little different. My makeup isn't as like in-depth as it usually is. But if you have some like, you know, related or unrelated questions, pop them in the little question box below. It's a little box that looks like this. Well, it doesn't really look like that. It's like two little boxes that has a question mark in it. And I'll do my best to answer them. All right, so what I did is I washed my face. It's clean now. I put on moisturizer and everything, and I'm going to start with a primer. This is YSL. I don't know how to say this. It's their Blur Primer. It's really good. I really like it. And before I did this, I washed my hands, which is not something that I always used to do. But, you know, not even just in the days of like, you know, the COVID pandemic breakout, but also just generally you should wash your hands before you do your makeup or before you cleanse your face because you carry so much dirt on your hands and you really don't want that to be on your face and stuff. So I'm going to put my primer on. I love this primer because I feel like it minimizes my pores and makes my skin look really good. Speaking of which, how many of you guys have skin that sucks right now? Because mine does. Like, I was listening to, I think maybe a facialist, she called herself, the other day, and she said that I was asking her about breakout, like what makes my skin break out, how can I take care of it during the pandemic, and she said, well, you know, a few things that make your skin break out are stress, carbs, and sugar. And I was like, lady, I have been stress eating carbs and dessert. Like, my whole face is breaking out. So there are a few things that I've done to make, you know, help it a little bit. And one of those is like cutting back a little bit on carbs and sugar. So instead of eating dessert 3 times a day, I only eat it like once a day for the most part. And then I eat less like pasta because I love pasta. And I've also been taking some biotin, which obviously you should consult your doctor, your dermatologist or whatever before you take stuff. And biotin usually isn't great if you don't have a biotin deficiency. But I looked on Google and Dr. Google told me that if you don't have like a regular varied diet, you might have a biotin deficiency. So I started taking biotin and it's like these cute little dissolvable like strawberry tablets. They're so good. But obviously that's just what I do. You should consult your doctor if you want to take anything, but I really like taking biotin. Okay. Oh, so funny that you asked this. Official Primrose, very good question. How do you avoid breakout with all the makeup that you wear so often? So I do some of the things that I said about like, you know, being more cognizant about what I'm eating. And I also try to drink a lot more water. So I have these two, this is so ratchet, but I have these 2 bottles of Smart Water. They're sitting over here. Those are my bottles of Smart Water. One is 1.5 liters and the other is 1 liter. And I just fill them up at the beginning of the day, every day, and I try to get through both of them. So that's like 2.5 liters of water every day. And the reason I do that instead of just refilling 1 cup is because I'm so lazy that I have figured out that if I just have those 2 bottles and refill them throughout the day, I'm more likely to drink them than if I have to like refill several times in a day. So, I mean, it's lazy, but it works. It helps me a lot. Okay, so quick break from the questions really quick. What I'm doing right now is I'm putting on a Tinted Moisturizer from Laura Mercier. And I like using the Tinted Moisturizer instead of like a regular foundation because this just feels better on my skin. And even though I don't wear makeup throughout the whole day. Usually I have on makeup by like 10 o'clock and I take it off around like 7. But it just feels better to have the tinted moisturizer instead of a foundation. And this is the second kind of tinted moisturizer I've used, and I really like it. So that's mine. This color is tawny. I like that. It feels fancy. Okay. Oh, hey guys. Hi from the Philippines. Hi. Misha said someone also told me that sitting in an apartment all day is like airplane air. Yeah, it's terrible. Like, and it makes me want to go outside more often, but I'm also low-key afraid to go outside sometimes. So, okay. Let me see. Ooh, this is an interesting question. Hi, girl. Okay, so Annala, I hope I'm saying your name right. I apologize if I'm not. Says how to deal with bullies who only find things negative to say about you. Bullies who only find negative things to say. Well, I really do 2 things. One, I think a lot of bullies are just people who have been bullied. Like, I think it sort of goes along with the hurt people kind of saying. And that a lot of people who have mean things to say about you really are just like sad themselves and have nothing, not nothing positive going on, but they don't have a lot of positive things going on. I mean, a lot of the people who have been bullies, to me, I'll like look on their pages, they'll be like, I remember when I first won, there were people who would literally put throw up emojis under my pictures. And I'd be like, yo, what is wrong with you? So I'd go on their pages and they would have like 3 followers and no profile picture. I'm like, how bad must your life be if you seriously have made this fake Instagram page just to throw hate and shade to other people? So obviously these people are very sad. And so I just had to understand that, them passing along negativity had nothing to do with me and has more to do with like them just being, sad or negative or whatever. So that's one thing. You just have to understand that some bullies are just very sad people and they don't really even know you and aren't always really even invested in you or your success. They just want to be mean. So don't let that hurt you. And the second thing is, well, like if I see really negative comments, not just like, hey, I wasn't a big fan of your dress, but if I see comments like the throw up faces or racist comments, I like delete the comments and then I block the people. I do that all the time because I understand that there are so many people who follow me, there are so many people who see what's on my page, and I don't want to provide a platform for negativity. So I'm like, if you want to be negative, you can do that in your own space, but you can't do it in mine. So that's what I do. That's what I do for bullies and stuff. Anyways, so what I'm doing right now is I put on my tinted moisturizer just on my eyes first. I'm going to put it on the rest of my face in just a second. But now I'm adding just a little bit of eyeshadow to my crease. I don't do a whole lot of eyeshadow. This routine is going to take me a little longer today because I'm talking while I'm doing it. But usually only takes me like 15 to 20 minutes. So I just like slap a little bit of eyeshadow on my face. This is from Too Faced, the Sweet Peach palette. I used Puree. So it's like this one. It's just a really light brown that I just put in the crease of my eye. I really like it. Okay, so finished answering that question. Let me see if I can find another one. Sorry if I can't see your comments, because I'm trying to make sure that oh, this is so cute. Hey. Favorite part of competition weekend during competition? Sure, I'll do this one. Okay, so I just finished putting that like little light brown shade on. I'm gonna do a different shade. Okay. So, legit MMA gal? I think that's how I say your name. Favorite part of competition weekend? I don't know, honestly. I think swimsuit, to be fair, actually. I really like doing swimsuit because it's the one thing that like you don't have to stress about anything, you don't have to worry about things. All you do is you just go out on stage and you just have fun. Like for gowns, sometimes it can be scary because I'm worried about tripping on my gown or turning, or if you're walking slow, am I going to just accidentally tip over or lose my balance? And for interview and on-stage question, it's obviously very stressful because you want to make sure that you get in information, you have a time limit. But for like swimsuit, you just go out there and work it. I think that's my favorite part of it. So yeah, I would say swim is definitely my fave. And yeah, still doing makeup. Okay, so this is another Too Faced palette. This is their chocolate bar. It actually smells like chocolate too, and the peach one actually smells like peach. It's a little creepy. But this color that I just put on to my lid is called So Bougie. It's this light shade right here. This light shade doesn't always work for me, but right now I'm super pale. I'm a lot lighter than I usually am. And so a lot of light colors usually work. So that's all the eyeshadow I'm going to put on to the top of my eyes. And I'm just going to blend it into the top a little bit more. I have a lot of brushes. Guys, I have to show you this. I love these brushes. Like, I just bought these marble brushes. This is like my brush, like, setup or whatever. And look, they're marble. Seriously, these are like my favorite kinds of brushes. So I just bought that, I don't know, a few months ago, something. And I'm obsessed with them. Okay, so let me see if I can find another question on here. This is a cool question. How many pageants have I done? What organizations did you compete in? Which is my favorite? Obviously, Miss Universe organization is my favorite. This is where I won. But I competed, funny enough, one of the questions that MUO asked us when we were competing was, how many pageants have you competed in? And I think after I competed in Miss Universe, I think that was like my 15th or 16th pageant ever. So obviously a lot of pageants. And a lot of those were, like when I was in high school, I competed in my high school pageant, so I counted those. And I competed in the Miss America organization for a couple of years when I was in law school. Side note, this is my tinted moisturizer. I'm just putting it all over my face. So, when I was in the Miss America organization, obviously you have to, the setup for most states is that you have to win a local title. So you have to win a county or a state, before you can compete at state. So the first year that I competed in 3 different locals because I lost the first 2. And I literally didn't even win swimsuit competition, like the little swimsuit prelim for any of the locals that I competed in. And by the time I got to state, that was like my 4th pageant in the Miss America organization. So, you end up racking up a lot of losses before, or at least I did, when I competed in the Miss America organization. And then I competed 3 times for my state pageant in the Miss Universe organization. And on the 3rd time, I won the title of Miss North Carolina USA, and then got to USA, and then got to Universe, which is pretty amazing. So a fair amount of pageants. I like competing in pageants. Honestly, I'm kind of sad that Miss Universe is my last pageant because I really do like competing. It's actually really fun. To go out there, have your family out there. I think the lead up to it can be stressful but fun sometimes because you're thinking about who your competition is and getting your dress together and getting in shape. And I was just looking at prelim videos from Miss USA and God, I wish I still looked like I did in swimsuit. I wish I was still that fit because I'm not anymore. So I loved competing and it's been amazing. And if I could do it all over again, I definitely would. Let me see. Here's a good question from Vanessa. Hey girl, your English is so good, how can you, thank you. Well, English is the only language that I speak, so I'm gonna learn another one at some point in time. I was trying to learn Spanish on this app called Duolingo. I don't know if you guys use it, but I just think it would be so great because there's so many people in the USA who speak Spanish, and I would love to go to South America and be able to speak it and be able to communicate with people. So that was one of my goals. It's just sort of fallen by the wayside. But not to get distracted. Vanessa said, do you ever get stressed or is it not too much work? I'm stressed all the time. And I think a lot of that is just me putting stress on my own self because there's a lot that I want to accomplish. And it's really hard for me to sit still, which is kind of what this time is requiring me to do. So every day I'm trying to do something. And because of that, I end up getting overwhelmed. A while ago, I started putting together a scrapbook, and every day I'm just add the things to your scrapbook. Why hasn't your scrapbook been finished yet? Or I'll try to add extra articles to my blog. There are so many social media accounts that I manage because I manage obviously my blog account. So I have a blog account on Instagram, my personal account on Instagram. I have a blog account on Facebook, a personal account on Facebook, and then a personal business page on Facebook. And then I have a Pinterest account. I have a TikTok, a personal one. I have my LinkedIn that I try to, and people send me messages and stuff on all of them. I'm always getting notifications. So just managing social media and trying to create content, trying to figure out my next steps for when I'm done with Miss USA. All of that is very stressful all the time. So I am very stressed. But how do I manage it? I have to manage my expectations and just make sure that I'm realistic with, what's coming next and laying out a plan. I think that is what gives me the most peace and calm is when the night before each day I will lay out my schedule in my phone and just put out like in a note, I'm waking up at this time, I'm going to work out at this time, this is what I'm going to get done today, and I'll have like literally a to-do list that says these are the small tasks that I want to get done. So that helps me to sort of manage my stress, is just having that plan laid out and being understanding and giving myself a measure of grace when I don't finish something. So the fact that my scrapbook isn't finished right now does not matter. And so I have to like keep reminding myself of that, like, bro, calm down, because it's not that serious. Okay, so what I'm doing right now is I'm adding like a little bit of concealer. This is the YSL All Hours Concealer in 3. And I really like it because it's really light. I used to have a concealer, I think it was MAC concealer, I want to say. And it was, I liked it. I liked the color. I liked the way that it made me look and everything, but it was also really heavy. And so since I put on like foundation, in this case, Tinted Moisturizer, and then a concealer on top of that, it just felt really heavy. And so I like the YSL one because it's really light. Okay, now I'm going to do a little bit of baking. This is Huda Beauty Pound Cake. This is their loose baking powder. I love it. Official Promo says, how long does it usually take to do a full face of makeup? To do this is sort of like a lighter version of my makeup because I'm not doing real foundation and I'm not doing like lashes or anything. So usually a real full face would take me an hour to do like real liner, real eyeshadow and everything. But this face, when I'm not talking and on Instagram Live, usually takes me like 15-20 minutes. So I like it because it's not long, doesn't take up a significant part of my day, so I get to spend like more time on other things like planning, like making content, and just doing things that I really like to do. So good question. Michelle, I think that's how I say your name. What brand and color of tinted moisturizer do you use? Laura Mercier Tinted Moisturizer Tawny 4W1 is the one that I use. So I like that one. And like I have 2 tinted moisturizers and probably like 7 shades of foundation because my skin color changes so much depending on how often I've been in the sun and, you know, what I'm looking like that day or what my expectations are. Most of the time I really don't like a glossy look. I really like a matte look. So I have different shades of like matte foundations, and I have like 2 different powders, 3 different powders. I mean, just a lot. I have a lot of makeup because I really like makeup. It's kind of fun. So yeah, a bunch of them. Let me see. Wow, you guys have a ton of great questions here. Let's do this one. Hey. Okay, I'm gonna skip saying your names because I don't know how to say them correctly and I don't want to mess them up. But you have a great question. What first made you interested in pageants and how did you start out? Well, my mom is the one who got me interested because my mom, when I was like 10 or 11, she was Mrs. North Carolina US 2002. And she'd competed in pageants before, so I was sort of like familiar with her competing, but I don't think I'd ever watched her compete. And when she competed in that system, I had 4 siblings at the time. My 2 youngest siblings are really, really young, so they weren't born yet. But I remember like all of my siblings and my dad and like I think one of my mom's friends, we were all there watching her. And I just remember being in awe. And it was, like I said, I think that was the first time I ever watched a pageant live. And, you know, she competed in swimsuits. They had like a photogenic competition. I don't remember if they did onstage question and everything. They did gown. And I was like, she's a princess. And so closer to the end of the competition, they gave out like, you know, sort of, I guess you could call them like ancillary awards. They were like, you know, photogenic, swimsuit and everything. My mom won like all but one of the awards. And so we're like, she's going to win. My mom's going to win. And so she won. I remember when they crowned her. I remember going home and her letting me like try on the crown. I remember friends at my school would ask for autograph cards, and I just remember thinking like I want to be her. So that was why I started competing, because my mom was competing and I saw the things that she got to do. She would take me and some of my siblings to appearances and events with her, and like she sang. She's got a beautiful voice, and so she would sing the national anthem. She would go to like volunteering events. She would talk about parents volunteering in their kids' schools. That was her platform, and I loved it. So I started competing myself. Side note, what I just did, I added a little bit of contour to my cheeks and like my hairline. This one, wow, the whole thing scrubbed off, so I can't really tell you what color this is. But it's a MAC something or other sort of powder. So yeah, that's what really got me interested. And how did I start out? The first pageant I ever did, we did a video on this too because it's kind of tragic. So the first pageant I ever did was my high school pageant when I was a freshman in high school at Northwestern in Rock Hill, South Carolina. And it was like the Miss Northwestern High School competition. And I wanted to compete, but I was afraid of doing it by myself because I didn't know any of the other girls competing. This was a new school, a new city, a new everything. And so my older sister, who was not the least bit interested in pageants, was going to do, I convinced her to do it with me because I was so scared and so insecure and nervous. So I was like, will you please do this with me? This is the only way I'm going to do it. And she was like, yeah, sure. So we had old prom dresses, or maybe they weren't old. I think we might have bought them from like a department store or something, but they were prom dresses. So we wore those and competed, and it was terrible on my end. Like I made so many mistakes. I said so many things, but I ended up winning the Miss Freshman Award, and I loved it. It was so much fun. I loved that my mom came and she was cheering for me. I liked the whole winning and being crowned experience, and we were in like our school newspaper after that. It was really, really fun. And so I talk a little bit more about that in one of our recent videos. I think it's on Twitter, and I talk about all the mistakes that I made. But yeah, that was my first pageant. So everybody's got to start somewhere, and that's where I started doing my high school pageants. And it was dope. Okay. Oh, this is an interesting one. Okay. I'll answer this one from Kaliegh. What are your thoughts on dating in law school? Oh my gosh, I have so many thoughts on dating in law school. You gotta do what you want. So I have friends who are actually married in law school. One of my friends who I have the highest respect for, her name's Danielle. We went to law school together, and before we got to law school, she was already married. Oh, sorry, I'm forgetting to talk about my makeup. I'd like contoured my nose or whatever. I'm gonna do my eyebrows now. So she was married in law school. This is the palette I'm using, Tartelette in Bloom. I'm going to use Activist. You can see like my mirror is smashed because I travel so much. She was married in before we got to law school, and then law school is typically 3 years. It was 4 years for me because I got an extra degree. I got an MBA while I was still in law school. And during her third year, she and her husband had a baby. And so she was literally a new mother in law school and had like a tiny little baby to take care of while she was studying for the bar exam the summer after law school. And I remember just being in awe because when I finally got to that point, when I finally had to study for the bar exam, I could barely take care of myself. Like I was barely doing that much, like just getting food in my mouth and making sure that I was on like my regular study schedule was enough. And Danielle, I mean, when she graduated, she won like a Women in the Law award from a local organization in Forsyth County, I want to say. And then she studied for the bar and passed the bar on her first attempt in North Carolina. And I was just so proud of her. So if you can be like Danielle and not be distracted and still focus, and if your significant other is supportive and not distracting, like go for it in law school. But if not, like really law school should be your main focus because it's expensive, it's time consuming, and it is very, very difficult. So whatever you can do, if you think that you can focus and still date in law school, then go for it. But if not, I've always been like law school and career first and dating second, which is probably why I'm single. Okay, next question. Trying to tap. Okay. What are my plans after my reign? Am I gonna visit the Philippines? I would love to visit the Philippines. And so Kat was Miss Universe before she crowned Zosie. And Kat said that if I visit the Philippines, I have to come see her. And I said yes. So I would love to visit the Philippines. Obviously, when we have emerged past COVID-19 and the pandemic. But it would be a lot of fun. As far as my other plans, I hope to stay in New York City, continue to work with Extra, and do some speaking engagements, so that'll be a lot of fun. And we'll have more details, I'm sure I'll tell you guys, closer to crowning what I'm doing and more specifics. But as of now, those are the loose plans for me. Okay, so I just did my brows. I think that's all that I do. I'm trying to think. Yeah, I think that's everything. Okay, so now that I've done all of that stuff, let me exit out of this question thing. I'm going to add powder. And I like to do my brows before powder because I like them to be like a little more natural, like blendy looking. And I've realized that if I do powder and then brows, my brows stick out too much and it's kind of weird. As Ozzy said, girl, you're single because you choose to be okay. I do choose to be single, yes, but I'm saying like that's why I feel like that's why I'm single, is because I've always put like work and law school and career and everything first, and like I think dating just isn't a priority for me. And if it was, like I could be in a relationship, I've just chosen not to. So yes, very true. Meg says, do you listen to music or podcasts when you get ready? Okay, this is weird, and if you've watched any of those like comparison like psycho vids on TikTok where they're like, this is what normal people do and this is what psycho people do, I think normal people listen to music and podcasts like when you're working out or doing stuff. I'm usually like not listening to anything. I literally just sitting here in silence, which is kind of creepy, I guess. And it's also something that I usually do when I work out. When I work out, I'm usually scrolling on social media or repinning stuff on my Pinterest or writing things down in my notes. Like I use that for like my planning period because it's just, I'm like, if I can sit here and be on the elliptical and also be accomplishing things in my day, then I would rather do that. So most of the time, no. Although sometimes I'll have like, I don't know, a movie on. A lot of times I end up watching reruns of Scandal, and I have been heartbroken in the last few days because right now all 7 seasons of Scandal are on Netflix, but the other day I tapped on an episode and there was a note at the top that said that Scandal's only going to be on Netflix until like May 19th, and I'm just not really sure what I'm going to do without it. So I'm a little upset and not really sure how to continue on beyond this time without Scandal reruns. So I hope that I'm allowed to leave my house because, like I said, that's what I do, is watch old episodes of Scandal over and over again. Okay, the powder that I just used is from MAC. It's medium dark mineralized skin finish, which is nice because this gives me more of like a glowy kind of natural look. Whereas if you've ever used the MAC Studio Fix powder, guys, like this is the powder of all powders. Like if you like a matte look, like I like a matte look, I usually don't like the dewy natural look. I just end up looking sweaty most of the time. This powder, I mean, like I don't have any shine. It lasts all day. It's amazing. This one's like my favorite. So as far as powders go, I really like the MAC Studio Fix one. But like I said, looking a little more natural today. So now I'm gonna use a blush. Sorry, I'm like ignoring you guys' comments. How much do pageants cost? A lot of money. We should start a petition for Netflix to keep Scandal. Yes, David, start that petition and I will sign it. We need to be messaging Kerry Washington to let her know, to also be an advocate for putting her show back on there. We need to get in touch with Shonda Rhimes. All of these people. Official Primrose says, watch something else. No, I don't want to. This is my show. I've memorized most of the episodes. So, okay, the blush I'm going to use is Tarte Captivating. And I used to use a different blush that came in like a set, but, whew, my God, it took forever to open that thing. But this one I like because it travels really easily. So, got my blush on. Everybody says use the little smile and rub your blush on thing, which I usually don't do. And sometimes my blush just ends up being a little higher or lower than it's supposed to be, but it's fine. Okay, so that's my blush. Can you show us the crown for fun? That would require me getting up. I'm in a bathrobe right now. Maybe later though. Next time, Alan. That's a great question. B. Hella Bell says Studio Fix was even better in the 90s and early 2000s. Well, I can't imagine it being any better than it is now because it's perfection right now. Okay, Molly, hey girl, Molly Kate Weeks says, what face wash do you use? So I use, God, which one am I using now? I switch face washes a lot. Right now I'm using, I think mine's from Image Skincare, I think. I have a fair amount of their products. And I also use a good amount of products from Urban Skin. So both of those I like alternate between. Root Beauty has a lot of products that I use. I don't really even know the product names that I use, but like they're great. It's great stuff. Like it's got retinol in it and the hyaluronic acid and all that. All the things that people tell you about, those are the ones that I use. Yeah. And those are the like 3 brands that I use. Sorry, I can't be more specific. If I was in my bathroom, I would show you. what I've been doing, what made you want to get into, what are my favorite lashes? This is a good question because I love lashes, but I haven't been wearing them lately. So the lashes that I usually wear are provided to me by a sponsor. Eyelashes Unlimited is usually who provides my lashes for me, but these are from Ardell. I love them so much. They're called Mega Volume, and I get the giant 4-packs because more lashes equals better. So those are the ones I usually use, but nowadays I've been doing, I'm doing liner now, guys. This is from Clinique. It's like brown, intense chocolate. This is my liner. And as of late, I haven't been doing lashes because it takes me so long to put my lashes on. And a lot of times I just don't like having lashes on all day because then, you know, sometimes they'll come off and you have to re-glue them, or sometimes they'll irritate my eyes. And I'm like, I don't really feel like it. So since we've been sort of sheltering in place, I really haven't been wearing fake eyelashes. Instead, I've been using a lash serum, which has worked wonders for my lashes. Usually I look like a bald, like mole rat because I don't really have long lashes. So I usually can't just wear my regular lashes. I usually have to wear eyelashes because my regular lashes disappear in pictures. But now that I've been using this lash serum, they've grown out a lot. So instead of putting on fake lashes, I just use a ton of mascara and curl my lashes, which you'll see in just a second. And I just do that, which I like. I mean, it ends up being a much more natural look. So it works out really well. And I think it's probably healthier for my lashes not to have glue and stuff on them all the time and me ripping off fake eyelashes out of my face. So it works well. Those are my lashes. Okay, someone says, can you save this live? Yeah, we'll save it. It'll be on the Miss USA account. Someone says lash serum. Yeah, I use this lash serum from Rodan and Fields. They have like lash growth serum, and it was amazing, like amazing. I wish I had before and after pictures, but I don't. Okay, so now I'm gonna use this brown liner. I don't know who. Oh, this is a Sephora eye pencil crayon. I like this instead of the Clinique one to do like my waterline on the top. I couldn't tell you why exactly. I just know I like the look better. I can't even remember why I started changing, but I did, and I like it. Bew Grayson, Tennessee, something, says, how often do you do makeup? Any day that I'm on camera, I do makeup, which ends up being like most days nowadays. I end up doing a fair amount of interviews for Extra. We have these Instagram lives, and I usually do makeup for those, unless it's a workout one. Speaking of which, we're doing a workout tomorrow at 11:30, me and my mom, which has been highly requested because apparently you guys love my mom more than you love me, which is fine, whatever. I mean, she's a pretty mom. I love her too. So make sure to join us tomorrow on here at 11:30 Eastern Standard Time for a quick, like 15-20 minute workout. So for those ones, I don't wear makeup, but for all the other ones, I do makeup. And then sometimes we'll have Zoom calls, and I like to have makeup for those Zoom calls because they're recorded, we repost them. And that ends up being about like 5 days a week. So I put on makeup just as much as I usually did. All right, so I just did my waterline. Now I'm gonna add a little bit of brown on the bottom. So when I smile, like in pictures, you can see it kind of now because I'm on video. You can see I have got, I don't know what you call these, bags under my eyes, whatever it is. And it's like, it's really distracting sometimes. So what I did, I learned this from an episode of America's Next Top Model. Tyra Banks said this. She said she has these too, and this is what she does. So I'm going back to my Too Faced chocolate palette. I'm gonna use Cocoa Truffle. It's a little darker than the like light brown that was in the peach palette, so I use that one for the bottom. I don't know why, just because. So I take that in this brush, and I'm just going to rub some of the brown underneath my eye, and it just makes it a little less distracting, especially in pictures and when I'm on videos. So when I smile, it's just a little, see, it's just a little darker. The light catches it a little less, so that's why I like it. I'm gonna do that on the bottom. I'm just gonna try to make it real blendy and pretty. Smooth just like that. So that one's pretty dope. And after that, I think all I have left is like lips and mascara. So we're coming to a close. Let me try to say hi to Ecuador. Love you. I love you. Love Ecuador. I'm gonna go there someday. That'd be really cool. Okay, there are more questions on here. Let me try to find some more that I haven't answered already. My favorite makeup brand. This is a funny one. I did not know we had so many lawyers on here because this question is like the bane of every lawyer's existence. the rule against perpetuities. Guys, I'm not even going to answer this question because I hate the rule against perpetuities. I just had to understand that there are some things in law school that I just wasn't going to learn. In fact, somebody told me once, I think it was like one of the professors who was teaching on like Barbary or one of like the bar prep software things. I think they said that if a lawyer, when you're practicing, don't quote me on this because I don't know if this is right, I just remember this person saying this, I didn't look it up, but they said that if you like do something wrong, or give like, you know, maybe mistaken advice on the rule against perpetuities, that it's like not necessarily an ethical violation because the rule against perpetuities is that intense and ridiculous. So I hate the rule against perpetuities. I can't say that I ever accomplished it. And I just figured if I could spend 7 hours getting the rule against perpetuities right, or I could spend 7 hours learning 7 other skills, I'm just gonna learn the 7 other skills and understand that the rule against perpetuities just isn't for me. So yeah, that's my approach there. That's what I've got. Okay, this is a great question. Someone says, Candace, hey girl, says, what is my favorite SPF? So this is a great question because a facialist told me that even now, when we are sheltering in place, you should still be wearing SPF because you're still around light. Like right now, I'm sitting in front of a giant window, so there's sunlight still coming into my bedroom. And there are times where I go outside for a walk with my mask on, obviously. And she said you need to still be wearing an SPF because the sun and UV rays can still damage your skin. So definitely should still be wearing it. The tinted moisturizer that I have, that I wear, is an SPF 20. So it's in the tinted moisturizer that I use. It's also in the regular moisturizer that I use after I wash my face. So, I mean, you really should still be using it, and it's in like basically all the products, all the moisturizing products that I use. So great question, fights against aging and all of that, and it just protects your skin. Okay, let me find another question. Oh, this is a nice question. Thanks, Emma. That is a really nice question. Side note, I'm curling my lashes right now. It looks so curly. Look, you can kind of see them a little bit. I've been using my lash serum, and I also do like a lash perm so that my lashes curl more than they usually do because they have no curl and they usually don't grow. Anyways, Emma says, how did it feel to win Miss USA, and what is your favorite opportunity that has come from it? Winning Miss USA is very surreal. And side note, the other day I was just on a FaceTime call with some former Miss USAs. It was like me, Kyra McCullough, Sarah Rose Summers, Nia Sanchez, Olivia Jordan, and I hope I'm not forgetting anybody, but I think that was everybody. I think Erin Brady might have been on there too, possibly. So we were having like a group FaceTime, which was so much fun. It was hilarious because we're on this FaceTime and I'm sitting in the Miss USA bedroom that all of us have lived in. I mean, it was a really, really funny moment, and we were all talking about how surreal it is to actually win. I mean, it's indescribable to be in that moment, because even though you work as hard as you possibly can and you visualize it and you dream about it, I literally had dreamt about winning Miss North Carolina USA and Miss USA. Nothing really prepares you for that moment. So it's like being in a dream. So if you've ever dreamt about being in Miss USA and winning the title of Miss USA, winning is just like it feels like in your dream. So that's how it feels. What's my favorite opportunity that's come from it? It's hard to say one specific opportunity, but there have been a few that I've really enjoyed. Obviously, I've loved that winning Miss USA brought me the opportunity of working with Extra, because I think I've been able to use some of the skills that I gained being an attorney, asking questions, being in front of people while I'm a correspondent. And so I've really, really liked that. I also love that I've been able to serve as an impact ambassador for Dress for Success, because I volunteered for them before I won Miss North Carolina USA. So it's just like continuing to volunteer, but on a higher level. And I've loved that. I truly love the organization. And if you haven't given to my birthday fundraiser, please give to my birthday fundraiser in honor of Dress for Success. There's a link if you search on Facebook, Cheslie Kryst, Dress for Success birthday fundraiser. You can give to it. Just give $5 or $1, whatever. Give to my little birthday fundraiser, because it was my birthday. So I really like that. And also, I was looking at this in my scrapbook the other day. One of the events I did this past summer was with Best Buddies, which is another organization that we work with. and they do this really cool fundraiser where they bring together some of the New England Patriots and Guy Fieri. They brought us all together in Boston, in Massachusetts. Well, a few different cities in Massachusetts. But one of the events was a football game in the Harvard Stadium, which was so cool because we're playing with, obviously, some of the buddies from Best Buddies were in the game. I was playing in the game. And then Tom Brady was the quarterback for both sides. He would just, throw on one side and switch sides, throw on the other. And he brought with him some of his teammates from the Patriots. So we're literally playing football with Tom Brady, and I think a couple of his sons might have been playing too, and his teammates. That was so cool, especially because, I don't know if I really talk about this very much. There was one moment in the game when I think I pushed somebody out of bounds or ran fast. I did something, and we're like running down the line because I just played good defense, and literally Tom Brady is running down with me. He's like, good defense. I was like, oh my God, I'm gonna tell everybody about this moment. I hope you know that, sir. So that was really, really cool. But it turned into not being so cool afterwards because there was another play almost exactly after that play when I think one of his sons had the ball or something, and I was trying to protect him. I didn't really know what I was doing. I don't play football. And so I think I was like trying to block for somebody, and instead of blocking for him, his son accidentally ran directly into my shoulder. His teeth were in my shoulder, and I fell over, he fell over, and I remember being on the ground and looking over at his son, who's younger than me. He's probably like, I don't know, in middle school or something. And I just remember thinking like, please don't cry. I would feel so bad right now if I just like accidentally, hurt one of Tom Brady's sons. But he was fine. He was really tough. So that was really cool. That was a fun experience. But it's just hard to say. We've had so many fun experiences as Miss USA, so many cool things that I've been able to do, so many fun people I've been able to meet. It's kind of indescribable. So, okay, so I missed all of the lip stuff that I did. This is Urban Decay. It says 1993. I wonder if that's the color. I think that's the color. Urban Decay 1993. That's the lip liner I just used. And this is the best lipstick ever. I used it at Miss Universe. That's why it still says USA on here. But it's called Carnal. It's a matte lipstick from Urban Decay, and it's my favorite. It's all that I use. And then I put on top of that this lip gloss from Victoria Duke Beauty. They have like 5 different shades, and I just alternate between all of them. So I end up using this sparkly one a lot, and I use this other one. I don't even know what the name is because the name's rubbed off of it, but I use a lot of those. So now that I've done lips, I've got like a little setting spray. Everybody told me this setting spray is good, and I mean, it feels good. I mean, leaves my makeup on all day. It's called, Urban Decay All Nighter. So I'm just gonna mist that on here, and I'm done. So that took 45 minutes because I was doing my makeup really slowly and talking and thinking at the same time. And if you ever have to do that, just know that it's very difficult. So that's my daily makeup. And those are some of my behind the scenes stories. So this was fun, guys. Thank you for all of your questions. You had really, really good questions. And if you have any other questions about my skincare or any of the makeup I do or any pageant questions, I can see there's still some pageant questions. I'll answer a few more before I go. Just message me. I try to get back to most people, but I do have countless message requests, and I can't get back to all of them, but I'll try my best. So while I'm still on here, let me answer some of these. James, is this 5'6" maybe? Who from the Miss North Carolina pageant do I still talk to? So, if you mean the Miss North Carolina USA pageant, I still talk to like my directors. Paula Miles is one of the directors of Miss North Carolina USA, along with Ryan Miles, her son. And it was just her birthday. Her birthday was the day after mine. So my birthday was on Tuesday, hers was Wednesday. And so I just talked to her the other day. I just talked to Ryan the other day, and most of their team. A lot of them ended up like chaperoning for me for some of the events that I would have in North Carolina, so I see them a good bit. And then a lot of the girls that I competed with, I still talk to, because we like follow each other on social media, so we still stay in touch and everything, and that's always really fun. So I love them. Pageants support, yeah. Says, what and how many reps do you do for the 600 abs challenge? This is so cute that you guys called it a challenge. I just really wanted some workout buddies because I felt like if I put on social media that I was working out every day, I would feel guilty if I didn't. So, but I mean, I guess it's a challenge now. So I do 600 abs. That's how many reps I do. That's why I call it 600 abs, because it's like, I don't know, I think 4 different exercises, 4 different types of ab exercises that I just end up doing over and over. So if you want to join with me, I put a highlight on my Instagram page, on my personal page. There's a story highlight called 600 abs. And if you tap through that, I think it's like, I don't know, maybe the 5th or 6th story on there. It says which ab exercises I do. And there's a picture of me and like some blue, like matching set thing, which is actually like a video. So click on that. It'll take you to a video and it'll show you the ab exercises that I do, so you can join with me. And tag me when you do the little 600 abs, because I love it when you guys join in. It's really, really sweet. Okay, we're gonna do one more question. Let me see. Wow, you guys have so many questions. Oh, this is a good one that I haven't answered before. So Francesca Blaze, hope I'm saying that right, says, how did you balance being in law school and competing? It was very difficult. It was near impossible. It was very stressful. I remember before I started competing in the Miss Universe organization, like I said, I competed in the Miss America organization, and I remember there was an ice storm. Sorry, my hair gets so hot when I do these. Like, I'm literally sweating. There was an ice storm during this one time that I was supposed to do a local. And so while the ice storm was happening, our school was preparing to shut down. My school was in Winston-Salem, and I was doing this pageant in Raleigh, North Carolina. They're about an hour and 45 minutes from each other. So I had this giant competition to prepare for law school. Was for our moot court competition, which is very complicated. I would explain it, but it would just make the story longer. So I'm preparing for this thing. We have to write this giant brief. I think my brief was like, I don't know, 15 pages or something like that, if I had to guess. So I had to like drive to Raleigh to do rehearsals for this local pageant that I was trying to win. And then that night, drive back to law school because I didn't want to stay in Raleigh. So I was driving an hour and a half in the middle of an ice storm. And I got to Winston-Salem, finished my paper. I think I stayed up till like, I don't know, 3 o'clock in the morning, and had to turn that in and then drive back to Raleigh the next day so that I could compete in this pageant, which I ended up losing. I think I was like second runner-up or something. So I remember just being so stressed all the time because I was devoting all of my attention to like law school and competing in pageants. But I think it helped. I think everything that I experienced ended up helping because when it got to becoming Miss USA, becoming Miss North Carolina USA, and being prepared for those competitions, I already knew what it was like to have to balance and juggle a ton of things at the same time. So it was just like a continuation of what I'd already done. All right, so great questions, guys. This was really fun. I hope we'll do like another Get Ready With Me because I just love answering your questions, especially when I don't have a chance to always answer them any other place. I hope you like my makeup. This is my daytime makeup. Very simple, very easy, usually 15-20 minutes. So any other questions, I'll see you guys next time, hopefully tomorrow for the workout. Mwah!